Hush, okay. Wow, I mean, he's got a really good record, but we don't see him very often, and usually players you don't see often are players you don't pick in playoffs like this because there's just too much variance, there's too much, there's too many variables when you pick somebody like this. It's like, okay, is this guy going to actually come out and kill it like he normally does because he hasn't played in a while? We're not really sure. I don't think he's played on this map yet in a televised match, but that doesn't necessarily mean that obviously he's not experienced on it because these players are practicing on this map a ton, especially if you're the sniper to come out on this map.
Yeah. To me, this says that they just don't have the confidence in Sora. I think they wanted to use a Protoss on this map. They were like, I feel like Sejantis just did not want to use Sora, so we're seeing Hush here, and we'll have to see how he plays. Kure getting that 1 kill. He's definitely going to be a lot less prepared for this match than Hush is, which is going to be a big thing going into this map. But Kure looked good. He looked on point in his first game. We'll have to see if he follows that up into game 2.
Yeah, we will have to see indeed. As noted, this map is a map I think Terran can be very good on. A map where we don't see a lot of Terrans just yet, but we're seeing even less Zerg. So let's go into game number 2, CJ versus JINAIR.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left on Maze in the yellow for Sejantis, the Protoss player, it's Hush.
And over here in the top right in the green for JINAIR, it's Kure.
Kure looking handsome. That was a very interesting close-up of the logo of JINAIR Groomings. They're saying we're cheering JINAIR Groomings. There's another close-up. Sejantis badge.
Yep, and let's see how this one plays out. We are at close spawns, as close as it gets on this map. That's huge.
Yeah, I think these are actually the same spawns we had for Sora versus Marine King, if I'm not mistaken. So Kure, maybe if he does find this out, just start with those Reapers, maybe try to get a lot of damage done. Could see something happen, but you know, Sora not looking too solid these days. I feel like Hush would be better able to push that off.
Yeah, and you know, over here on this map, I feel like, you know, just looking at it, like we could see different types of strategies because things get a bit meta on this map, in my opinion, because we see sometimes fast CCs, fast Nexi, because it's a map where the rush distance is long, but then you don't want to do that necessarily because then what if your opponent rushes you or all-ins you, then you're left open, left a bit exposed. This is especially true for the Terran player, I feel, because the Protoss player has that Nexus cannon he can use, and that's always going to be there. There's very few timings that exist in this game where you can hit a Protoss player before the Nexus cannon is ready. One of them being what Marine King tried to do, which was a 2 barracks proxy. Failed. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. We've seen players, you know, sometimes on big maps try to do something funky just because they want to go against that main and surprise their opponents. So would be interesting to see one of these players go for it. I want to see if Hush has something like specific prepared for this map. Is he gonna, you know, have a build that's, I'm sure he has something in mind, but does he have like some kind of specific timing or some kind of attack that he's going to go for? Or is he just going to play standard PvT on this map, feel pretty confident? Protoss is pretty strong on this map. We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely I have to wait and see. Let's see what he does when that core is done. I think Oracle play on this map is the best choice. You know, we could see DTs. We could see, I guess, like some sort of weird robo play. Like, he could just try to play us like really safe and really standard, which surprised me because this is all kill format, and it's a format where, you know, you're the one who's picking the map, and you're probably the one who's got something really special planned. But if he just wants to play a macro game here, if that's like what he really thinks he's good at, he thinks he's a better PvT player than Kure is a TVP player on this map, then I guess that's a viable plan as well.
Yeah. For now, he hasn't put any tech down. He goes for that Nexus right after the core. And so we're definitely going to see that kind of safer, you know, macro play. No Nexus first here. No, like, super greedy builds here. Just going to play safe and solid for now. He's sending that Mothership core in the correct direction. He's going to be happy about that. And starts a Stargate here. So that Oracle play definitely could be following up.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the main way to open on this map if you're going to play a PvT where you open like this. Can control the Terran, keep him off your back. Yep. And this Mothership is going over there, just gets a little bit of extra scouting. He's going to deny the scout on the SCV in the main base, but we'll see the Nexus.
Yeah, not good enough micro on that Stalker, was not paying attention enough to kill that, and actually brings all of his units out of there, even moves the SCVs. I feel like this is a bit overreacting. I mean, the Oracle isn't even out yet. Stargate just about to finish. And I'm looking at the minimap. He still hasn't moved his SCVs back.
Yeah, I think he's just scared
really
that something's going to happen.
Yeah. Starts a bunker.
Yeah. Starting a bunker, starts an eBay because he wants to have turrets, I guess. And just have to wait and see.
I think he's definitely overreacting. That's one thing to say, but like I think he's messing up the timings here. If he sees the Nexus with that SCV, he should be a little bit okay. But here's the Oracle that's going to come across here, and we're going to see how much damage this gets done. I mean, just now the turret is starting to be built here, and it should be done maybe a little bit after that Oracle gets here and here. But here's the first Oracle is going to snipe that SCV, building the turret right away. Gets a second one. Yep. And the rest of them are going to try to go into that bunker. They failed to do so. He gets 4 kills here.
Yeah, 4 kills so far. The Marines are in a place to ward this away. And Stim has started, of course, back behind this. Turrets will eventually finish and ward this off. But a good worker lead here for the Protoss, who has already 2 bases up for a while. And he's going in the right direction tech-wise. Now he's going to start killing these rocks to slow things down.
Always want to use this map to your advantage. Get those rocks down, cut off the different paths, and force that Terran push to be a lot less here. This is great. Only having 3 Marines is not enough here for Cure. Hush is going to get those 3 and try to get out here. Doesn't want to take any more damage.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far on this Oracle. I mean, making it well worth it. As long as you can keep it alive, too, it can always do more. Medevacs are going to be sent out here right away, not wasting a second on that reactor swap. And back at home, the robotic support bay, I believe, is nearly completed, if not completed already. So he's going to be going into that Colossus style. And let's see, like, I mean, how it is. Okay, so it's about halfway done. Let's see how it is that Kira wants to play this game. Does he want to do an SCV pull off of 3 bases, off of 2 bases before Storm is ready? Like, what sort of plan are we going to see here? I'm really curious about that.
Well, for now, he's actually going to go down to where that 3rd base would be made and start a turret first. And right after that, he had it rally to make that Nexus right next to it. So we're going to see Kier try to put on the pressure here with this Medevac harass, try to get some drops done, try to get some damage, try to even out that damage that Hush did with the Oracle while taking that 3rd base maybe. I'm not sure. He has not scouted the fact that Hush as well is going for this 3rd base. And look at this. Hush knows exactly that this is coming in right away. He has observers all over the place, even has the Oracle following this.
Yeah, and this is, again, I think, like, showing why Hush is chosen here. He seems like he's just really good in the matchup overall. There's not enough Protoss units here, though. The Nexus Cannon will change that. Snipes his Zealots, going to target down these Zealots as well. This is why normally you don't want to warp in near Marine fire, but I think he was just realizing, you know, I got a tank with something here. He's going to start getting my important structures, going for a pylon now. And sneaking over here, trying to get his pick off over here at the pylon to the edge. Not quite able to get that, but it is weakened for later if he decides to come back in.
Yeah, only so much room in that main base. You know, some of those units, some of those buildings out of the range of that photon overcharge. So not able to cover it just enough, but once that Colossus pops out, it's way more than enough defense. And now Hush with this 3rd base, he's got to be feeling pretty. Cure also getting that 3rd base down, but finally Cure is going to get the scout on this, and he is going to know this 3rd base is up now. We're going to see this transition into 3 base versus 3 base PvT.
Hush seems to be in a much better spot. He has the composition that's dealt with, that's great to deal with Marines, like mass Marines, which is what we see. 3rd base was late for Hush a little bit. I mean, excuse me, for Cure a little bit as well. and he doesn't have really any Marauders in his mix. He's adding them now, but the lack of Marauders means that he can't really hit a timing for a very long time. And I guess one place he is okay on is his workers. He's never missed a beat on that. And he is down now 9 with 11 kills in total on that Oracle, but still he's managed himself to stay in a decent spot there with triple mules dropping down.
Here comes the drop into the main base of Hush. He's passing by that pylon. He wants to go right for the middle line, and unfortunately for Hush, he doesn't have enough here, and he's going to have to pull those probes back. Doesn't lose much. I think he's going to lose maybe 2 or 3, but once this Colossus gets back, should be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. And second Colossus comes out. So he's getting range, like, albeit a bit late. He's got all the other upgrades to support this. He's going to have 1-1 in a second. Second Forge is coming up. He's got a ton of extra cannons being placed here because he knows that with just a few cannons, it should buy him enough time. And he had the Observer over that crevice for a while. I wonder if he'll send that back, because if he has an Observer there for vision, actually have that high ground where the Medivacs are, the 3 cannons there means they can even actually hit the Medivacs that are trying to lurk over those the rocks, whatever you want to call them.
Hush right now, one thing to note, he got that robotics out very fast, and he has a ton of observers on the map. He has 6 right now. They're covering every single angle in an arc, in a half moon around Hush's base. So he knows every different angle that this Terran can come in. He's going to see this drop come in, and he's going to see the one going to his main base.
Yeah, I mean, he can see anything that comes his way on the map. I mean, he's totally covered here. These rocks over here are sealing this space off, and this drop, not going to get anything done. Correct me if I'm wrong, he doesn't have Blink yet, right?
No, I do not think so. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys, we don't have the observing PC this time, so we're not able to check whether or not this upgrade is done. We didn't notice it earlier. Before that, drop is going to come in here. Once again, only having 4 Marines, though. I think this is more so to distract, if I'm not sure. There's the Blink.
Yeah, goes over here, doesn't get anything done, donates 2 Marines, but if it's a distraction tactic, it wasn't very successful because he didn't have any other follow-up. Now note that Hush actually has a worker deficit now. It's at 67 to 68, which means that Cure has, with that better worker count, the better economy in mineral income, but he does have less army, or he will have less army if he continues to produce you know, those units. And in this matchup, actually, Terran versus X these days, if you have too many SCVs in the late game because they're not as necessary, your army is just weaker. I mean, this drop should not have done that much damage. But going back on my point, like, if you actually have a Terran army that is comparable in army size to a Protoss in the late game, you're probably going to lose those fights because a Protoss army is stronger, it has AoE damage, it's got oftentimes the better upgrades, so he just needs to be careful about going on any further than 68 right now, I would say. Like, and that's why he stopped here.
Yeah. We even had Hush go up to 70, but then 2 of those probes did get killed with that drop that did too much damage. And he stopped making probes as well. So I think both of these guys are going to stop it around here. We're seeing Hush take that 4th base as well. This one Widowmine is going to get one of those Zealots, and 1 Observer is definitely going to be soon in place to be able to scout that and kill that.
Yeah, 4 Vikings at a time coming out to deal with the Colossi. We don't have any High Templar or any Storms on the way just yet, so keep that in mind. So these Vikings are going to be, I mean, he's already got a ton of these going up to 16 here. Okay, never mind, we do have some Templar. Pardon me for being incorrect. Again, I'm just like a bit wonky today. I'm kind of sick, and I'm also like not having my observing PC.
Yeah, feeling out of touch. Well, here comes this Terran army coming in on the main area of the map. He is going to send a drop towards that 3rd base and try to push in here at the 4th base. This is going to force Hush to maybe split up his army or try to defend against all this. Like you said before, one of the reasons you thought this was a Terran favorite map is one of the Vikings. The Vikings can get great position over these rocks and hit at those Colossi. So we're going to see Kira do exactly that. But a nice blink is going to pick off a couple of those.
Yeah. EMP hits the Stalkers, though, getting their shields low, so he's got to be very careful about how he engages. You know, they are starting to recharge slowly, but he needs a little bit more time, I would argue, before he wants to take a full-on engagement if he's going to use the Stalkers at the brunt of his force. These cannons over here, the Nexus cannon as well, definitely buying a lot of time over at that 4th base, so he's not able to actually get anything done over there, it doesn't look like. Maybe kill a probe or something. We didn't really get the full look. Upgrades have evened out. The Vikings do have +1, which is important because the Colossi armor upgrade applies twice, you know. So every time the Viking shoots, it shoots 2 rockets. Wow, he's actually just like controlling this map so well.
Yep, coming out here, destroying a bunch of rocks. Hush is following up by killing the rocks that are destroyed and blocking the paths. Hush is on the chase right now. Hush wants to take an engagement, but Kira is saying, no, I want to kill the rocks and delay this and try to get a lot of shots on your Colossi, and he wants to delay this as much as possible. Going to start killing even more rocks.
Yeah, he's now getting a Dark Shrine, Hush that is, back at home. And we'll see how much damage that actually ends up doing. I feel like he's trying to force Hush, Kira that is, into an engagement that is not favorable. But I don't know. He still doesn't have 3-3. It's very long away. And this Protoss army is really strong. Even if he's somehow able to eliminate all the Colossi with good Viking volleys, the Storms are there. And here we go. Guardian Shields are up. We got 2 fake Colossus in this mix.
So far, the EMP is not so good, and even a Ghost going down. But Kurgan in a very good position back here. But the Storms, he's grouping up his army. But again, kiting back. The Vikings doing a ton of damage here. But there is so much Protoss army right now on the doorstep of Cure.
Yeah, and he's starting to really drop those Storms down now on those Vikings as well as this Bio. Fake Colossi start to fade away as well. And even though this Bio army looks big, it's just too low on hit points. And now the last of the Vikings fall, and it looks like Hush is actually just going to take a win here. Pretty crazy finish to game number 2, and that's going to put us into a tie score at 1-1.
Wow, very good pick sending out Hush here. He played a very, very nice macro game, and he's going to try to do this Manor Nexus right on the front step. Let's see if he actually gets that down. Has it queued up at least, and we'll see how long Kier wants to stay in this game. Kier trying to fight with the last of his units, but just way too many units here for the Protoss. GG! And Hush takes game number 2 for CJ Entis.
He does take it, indeed. And I guess, you know, I judge this guy. I feel like every time he comes out, I'm like, oh, this is a weird pick. I'm not sure why they're using him. Honestly, there are better players on the team. You know, they have better results. He's not doing that well individually as well. Consider CJ didn't participate in this qualifier, so that's something to note as well. But I don't know, he's winning like almost every single one of his games, so I gotta stop judging him.
Yeah, this is his first game against Terran, but he proved to us that he's able to take a long macro game. You know, on this map, Maze, I feel like this is one thing you have to do as the Protoss, just take a very long macro game, get those upgrades up, just get a gigantic ball, and take one big fight. If you can do better with your Storms than the Terran can do with their EMPs, and we saw the EMPs of Pure barely hit anything. I think they hit like one of the sides of the, you know, Stalker ball, and that was about the hit. I don't think they hit any of the High Templars. So many Storms went down onto the super clumped up army of Pure. I feel like the engagement was just much better taken there by Hush in the end of things, and he was able to take the game.
So my prediction about that being a Terran map still hasn't held true either. My predictions haven't been as good since Season 1 of Codes, you bet stuff and everything else. But who are you feeling here? I'm feeling actually